And we're back with another video, and today I'm going to tick off a whole lot of you. I'm going to upset so many of you who have been watching my channel and enjoying my dealership battles over markups and pricing and behaviors. Because today I'm going to talk about why I have been trying to save the dealerships. I would love for the dealerships to stay. I don't want to lose them. I don't want all these salespeople and general managers and sales managers. I don't want them all to lose their jobs. I don't want these entrepreneurial owners who own these dealerships and support their families and build wealth to be out of business. I don't want to end a complete industry that has been around for decades and decades and decades, because I believe the system worked for a very long time, and I believe there's a chance it could still work. Yes, Tesla has come up with a model that is outstanding, but let me tell you, I like working with people. I enjoy negotiating with other humans. I enjoy sitting across the table with a person that I know, like, and trust, and put a deal together and establish a relationship that I can foster for years and years to come as I buy other cars, as my family gets new cars, as my child gets her car. I love to have a relationship with a dealership that has proven to me that they are trustworthy, they are respectful, they are respectable, they are honest in their dealings, they are ethical, they stand behind their products, they err on the side of the customer at any possible chance that they can. They're focused on building a business that is going to be around for centuries and be handed to their family members. I love those dealers, and let me just make this clear. I believe wholeheartedly that there are still some out there. There are still some out there that literally the owner wakes up every day and demands excellence, requires that the salespeople are honest, looks for integrity and ethics, errs on the side of the customer, makes concessions even when they don't have to make concessions to keep the customer happy. I believe they're out there. The problem is the good dealers will never get the press. They will never get put on video. They will never get the PR that the bad ones will get. And sadly, they will get buried into the ether somewhere where we will start to believe that, quote, all dealers are bad, they're all scumbags, they're all slimy, they're all crooked, they're all liars, they're all thieves. And I believe anytime any industry gets pegged that way, that it's unhealthy, it's bad for capitalism, it's bad for business, it's bad for commerce in any way. I believe, and I'm sure some of you in some level believe, that what has happened this last 4 years or so with these markups and these, ending of certain models of cars have created a situation where it's forced the cream to rise to the top and everything else to be exposed. The sad thing about the cream rising to the top is we don't see it enough, because it doesn't get the news, the press, that the bad ones get. Bad ones get news stories. The good ones, they get a nice 5-star recommendation on Google. And sadly, the entire industry gets barbecued and maligned because of the bad actors. So I'm here to tell you the reasons why I want to help and save the dealers from themselves. I am doing these videos in hopes that somebody at these dealerships, like what happened at Mac Hike, says, no, we're done. We're going to fire the bad people. We're going to look for the good people. We're going to do right by our customers. We're going to build legacy businesses that last for many, many years, that families come back to over and over again to buy their cars. When one family member buys a car in 2024, and 20 years from now, their kid is getting their first car on their own from that dealership because they know they could trust them. and it's the first car they're ever buying on their own. That's the kind of businesses I want to push. Do I like that franchise laws allow tremendous territorial control and product control and freedom to do almost anything with pricing? No. And I think those laws absolutely should change for the better good of car dealers everywhere. More competition makes room for good people to start businesses, to force bad out or force bad to do better. So I have no problem with those dealers. I've bought probably 50 plus cars in my lifetime. For sure, it's over 50. And I will tell you, I have built relationships with some incredible salespeople, incredible GMs, incredible owners of dealerships. I bought, I think it was 6 or 7 cars from a little independent used car lot called Executive Image many years ago with a guy named Joey. And Joey, who, yeah, he slung the gold rings and stuff, and he drove a big fancy car. Once I got to know Joey, Joey was a good guy. Joey was a dad. Joey was a husband. Joey was a solid human being. And all Joey wanted to do was sell a car at a fair price and have a happy customer. And 6, 7 cars later, I bought cars from Joey. When Joey left that company, went to another company, I went and I bought a car from Joey, another car, an S-Class from him, because I trusted Joey that when things went wrong, which it happened on all those cars, periodically something would go wrong, he stood behind it. He said, get in here, we're going to take care of it. I know it's not covered under warranty. I know you bought a used car as is, Brad, but you know what? You only had it a week and that thing happened. You had to have it towed in here. You found some Bondo. I found Bondo in one of my cars. He goes, we didn't even notice, we'll fix it right away. And, you know, we'll do right. Not going to charge anything. And by the way, we'll give you a loaner car. Pick anything on our lot you want to drive for the week. We want you happy. I love those dealerships. Those dealerships fit in a role that I think is needed for all of us. I'm not sure I just want to go to a website, which Tesla has, build the car, put a deposit down, and then wait for that car to show up, and then show up and pick it up. I love the simplicity of it, but what I don't love is that I would like to go and shop dealer to dealer and try to negotiate a better price. I would like to do that because each dealer pays an invoice for the car and decides a certain profit margin. And I would like to build that relationship where I can negotiate a better price. Keep in mind, when MSRP was originally determined and manufacturers came up with that number, it was to help the dealers with a price slightly higher than what anyone would ever pay for the car, but create a scenario where we would negotiate off of MSRP and feel like we won a little. I used to tell every single salesperson, every dealership I ever bought a car from, that I'm going to win, you're going to win. We're both going to have to come off of what we want. As long as one of us doesn't win way more than the other one, I'm good. You're going to fight for your position. I'm going to fight for my position. I'm going to hold firm on what I want to pay, and you're going to come off of what you're asking for the car. And I'm going to feel like I got a fair deal when I leave here, and then we're going to do business for many years after that. Fair enough? Absolutely. So if the dealer wanted to maneuver that price because they had a sales contest or a slower month going or an extra supply of a certain car inventory, a certain model inventory, they wanted to have a sale and move those things, people benefited from that. Forever, that's how it was. But then this last 4 years or so, during the pandemic and the low interest rates and the last call cars and just all the craziness and the supply shortage, dealers went crazy. And we found out who the good ones were, we found out who the bad ones were. So I think that had the last 4 years not taken place, I don't know about you all, but I was good getting power dollars from the manufacturer when the manufacturer said, let's help our dealers out, the dealers they love, they generally love. Right now, I think the manufacturer and the dealers are probably at odds in a lot of ways. And the manufacturer would say, look, we've got a profit margin that's probably larger than theirs, we're going to go ahead and bounce you back, power dollars for, $7,000 in power dollars. So somebody could buy a Hellcat. $5,000 to buy a Scat Pack. And yes, while MSRP slightly rose, and that inflation is a real thing, they would come out with these incentives to help get more of us going into the dealers to buy cars. Dealers never had a situation, unless it was a collector car, where they sat on cars and held on to ridiculous markups for as long as they needed to do, and if they couldn't sell it, they went and auctioned the car rather than sell it to a customer. Dealers were in the business of move as many cars as they can, set a sales quota for the month for the salespeople of 100 cars, and if they hit 120, they had a party and a barbecue in the parking lot. That was what they did. They had big extravaganzas and My Dog Spot commercials.
Here's Cal Worthington and his dog Spot. If you're little short of cash, go see Cal. Trouble's over in a flash, go see Cal. If other dealers you have cussed, here's a dealer you can trust.
And just a massive push to move metal off of dealerships. There was not any hoarding taking place. It was, what can we do to move more cars? Come on in, we'll make a deal with you today. I enjoyed that. Now, some of you are going to say you hated it. You like just going to Tesla. You like just going to CarMax. Let me explain to you how CarMax works. CarMax sets a price that is generally significantly higher, and I bought cars from there. And it's the most pleasurable, wonderful experience in the world, but you will pay more. I bought a Camry for my daily. I paid like 28 grand for it. I found out for 2,000 more because some guy named Pedro, who watched my channel, would tell me every time I did a stupid purchase, I went, knocked on a dealership's door, and told them, wipe the markup away, wipe away the add-ons, and I got that car for $2,000 more than CarMax was asking for like a 3-year-old car with 30,000 miles on it. So CarMax is overpriced. We all know CarMax is overpriced. They sell warranties, they sell financing, they sell everything. I think their models very nice, very convenient for the customer, and very easy to do a deal. You can do it all online. But you're gonna pay more for that. You're paying more. The traditional car dealers had a great model, which meant they were able to beat out the CarMaxes. They were able to make decisions like that Toyota dealership did to get me to buy the black Camry I bought. They made a decision to make a deal that day rather than to not make a deal that day. With Tesla, the price is the price. Now, they're dropping those prices, and if you bought one a week before they drop prices, you're probably upset. There's flaws in every single model, but I want to deal with people. There's a camera I want right now, and it's an Insta360 Go 3 in black, and also the Ace Pro. I want to get those two cameras. And I keep going into Best Buy and they're not there. I keep going to the website, hoping it's going to pop up that I can go pick it up. I can order it right now. It'll be here in probably 5 days. But I want to go in there, hold it in my hand, and look at it before I give my money. What a crazy freaking idea, rather than just watch videos. The idea of ordering a car online versus being able to go into dealerships and sit in those cars, smell that smell, drive that car, experience that car, and decide whether I want to buy that car in that moment, and that going away is sad. I enjoyed walking in and looking at all the cars in the lot and finding that one that is everything I want in the car. Discovering other cars that are maybe not even what I thought I wanted to buy, but because I got to see it, touch it, sit in it, and drive it, I decided I want that one. I love having that selection of choice. And I love having someone who used to be an expert on the cars walking around and showing me these cars. And establishing trust and answering my questions and fielding my concerns and addressing those concerns. But now it's going to be online. Everybody wants to eliminate the dealership model. Here's what I want. I want to eliminate the bad behavior. That's what I'm after. I want all the good dealers to stay there. I want the dealers that are doing MSRP deals or better to survive, to stay. I want the dealers who build relationships, follow up after the sale, ask you how it's going, invite you in for a free oil change, whatever. I want all that stuff to come back. I want competitive forces to thrive in real life. I want dealers not to sit on cars. I want dealers to move as many cars as they can and not sit and hoard them for huge pricing. That's what I want. Right now what's happening is they get the cars and they sit on them and they try to nail us for these humongous prices that are unjustifiable at best. So to all the dealers that are good, thank you for being good. And I would love to feature you, but no one would watch those videos. And that's what's sad. But I love the dealership model when it was working. I don't love it now. I don't like the ones that take advantage of every possible loophole they can to squeeze money out of us and put us upside down on our cars. But I just don't want everybody to think that I'm in this huge fight to end dealerships. Unless the only remaining dealerships out there are the ones that are slimy and that are liars and cheaters and thieves. And if those are the only ones that are left, then yeah, kill the model and let's start with a new model and go from there. But if there's still good ones out there, or the bad ones want to turn over a new leaf, and for example, that dealership I shared in my last video, if they want to take their Demon 170s and just sell those cars, don't hoard them, don't sit them on your dealership, get them into a customer's hand that's going to buy more cars from you. Get the price down to something palatable and just move them. You're still going to be wealthy beyond anyone's imagination. You own that big dealership. You've made so much money this last 3-4 years. You're good. A couple $100,000 more on a couple of these cars isn't going to significantly change your life. But letting them go, getting them out to some customers that will love and appreciate your dealership, your business, and get the word out about your business is much, much better and frankly, much more money than just trying to nail a couple buyers for a huge markups on these Demon 170s. Let them go. Get them out. If you got a car, get it out. If you get a new one on the truck today, get it out. Let them bid it up. Get 5 or 6 buyers and say, look, I'm at MSRP right now. How much you want to pay over? 20. How much you want to pay over? 30. How much you want to pay over? 40. How much you want to pay over? And then within 2 days of it showing up, sell the car to the highest bidder. That's real market forces. But don't just stick a $200,000 markup and then hope that some ding-a-ling will come in there and go, okay, I'll give it to you. I'll pay $330,000 for a Dodge Challenger. So with that, everybody, I hope this makes sense. I'm going to miss Best Buy when it's gone because, you know, you walk in, they have nothing there. Everything's online. I'm going to miss the good car dealerships if they go away. But I think they can save themselves. I think they can save themselves by taking massive steps to change their behaviors, to just move the metal that's on their lots for a buyer that comes in, wants to buy it, who has that sparkle in their eye, falls in love with that car, the young teenage boy in me that comes out every time I walk into a Dodge dealership and I see a Super Bee or a Demon or a Hellcat or a, you know, special edition Scat Pack, and I just get excited. And I'd love a salesman to look at me and go, let's go ahead and make this deal. No one else is buying it today. Let's make this deal, which is exactly what Max did with this car. He knew I wanted it. They dropped a huge markup, and I got the car for the price that I was comfortable with. I love that. Get us in these cars. Get these cars out of your lots, and then get more cars in. See, if you sell all these cars, if you move more cars, it can help companies like Dodge build more cars to fill your dealerships. But by sitting back with all this standing inventory, it doesn't make sense to keep piling more cars on you. So get them in and get them out. Get them in and get them out. Within 2 or 3 days, if there's that big of a demand, get them in, get them out. The first buyer that walks in there and falls in love with that car, make their dream come true. Make a deal that's palatable with them and get that car out and make that customer a customer for life. And you will be in business for centuries. Your company will be in business to where 3 generations of that family are coming back to that dealership and buying a car there because of all the good experiences. That's what I'm pushing for. That's what I want to save. I want to save those dealerships. I want to be able to go in and shake the hands of a human being. I want to have a conversation in a wrestling match with the general manager or the sales manager over a couple $1,000s off of MSRP. That's what I want. I don't want to have a smug salesman say, I just got to get mine, and a GM tell me if the seller doesn't, if the owner doesn't sell this car for $200,000 over or $100,000 over, they're just going to auction it off, meaning you can't have it. That I don't want to see anymore. So with that, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope this makes sense. Beat me up in the comments. Tell me you want the dealer models to go away. There's flaws in all of them. You want to order your Dodge Challenger online, that's one thing, and then wait till it shows up. But I want to walk into a dealership and sit in it and have a conversation and get that emotion of excitement and fun, and not tell my wife until after I come home in the car and watch her yell at me. All these things I've enjoyed over the years. Going out car shopping on a weekend was always exciting with my parents. I mean, this is part of the experience. They've ruined that experience, the bad ones. The good ones are still giving it. Max gave me a phenomenal experience at Orange Coast Dodge. Phenomenal experience. Even though they did markups, they knew that no one else was there buying this car that day, so he gave me the car for a good deal. And it made me super happy, and I'm still happy. I love this car. So with that, I'll end this video. Like, subscribe, comment, share this video if you think it'll help anybody. If you disagree with me, that's cool. Just be respectful. If you agree with me, hey, chime in. Because I got to think on some level, we'd miss the dealership model. Just not the one we've had this last 3-4 years. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. All right, let's go see if they got my camera. Oh, I love going in this store.